This is actually a video that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and this is just going to be a pretty laid back video, but I want to talk about the best female characters in the Call of Duty campaigns. And the best is, of course, subjective. Maybe we could say that these are my favorite characters, but we're going to talk a little bit about each single one, and then we're going to rank them from best to least best, or from best to worst, whatever you want to call it. You know, Call of Duty is known for its strong male protagonists, for its strong male leads, and that's cool and awesome because a lot of us can relate to these characters and feel the sacrifices and the things they do. But there's also a lot of female characters within the story. Sometimes they're not playable characters, most of the time they're supporting characters, but they do such a good job at being great, at being badasses. Some of these females are extremely talented and charismatic and beautiful. You know what I mean? Most of them are. And it's really cool to, you know, be a part of some of their growth, their story arcs and stuff like that. And some of the ones that resonated with me the most are Lana from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Salter from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Valeria Gara from Modern Warfare 2, Fara Kareem from Modern Warfare 2019, Helen Park from Call of Duty Cold War, Kate Lazwell from Modern Warfare 2019, Rosu from Call of Duty World War 2, and Paulina Petrova from Call of Duty Vanguard. These are some of my favorites. So we're going to go through them a little bit and just talk individually about them. Now, Lana appears in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare 2014. She's a former Spetsnaz operator turned Atlas soldier, and she later became a key ally to Sentinel. Lana is highly skilled. She's intelligent, resourceful, and emotionally grounded. And throughout the campaign, she forms a great bond with the character, Jack Mitchell. But then she becomes kind of worried or disillusioned or potentially ask questions about Jonathan Irons and his role in a big terrorist attack that happened a few years prior. Because of her digging, we find out that Jonathan Irons was the one behind a big terrorist attack. He basically allowed it to happen so he could grow and his influence could grow throughout the world. And Lana absolutely kills it. You know, when we first meet her, she's doing this interrogation and she's absolutely ruthless. But there was a cool factor to it. When I saw her for the very first time, I was kind of iffy. I was like, what are they trying to do here? But she played the role incredibly well. She was very believable. She didn't overstay her welcome. She had an important role in the game, and I absolutely loved her performance and the emotional weight that she brought to the entire story and how she played such a key role. Now, Lieutenant Nora Salter from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare 2016 was a United Nations Space Alliance Special Combat Air Recon Lieutenant, and she is basically one of the most elite combat pilots that the UNSA have to offer. She is right there on level, if not better, than Commander Nick Reyes. And honestly, Salter is she's so cool. She's beautiful. She's badass. She has great lines. She's a character, like, you can relate to that character a lot. Her relationship with Nick Reyes, personally, I thought was probably one of the best parts about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I love the relationship. And it almost felt like they had this love potentially there, or this attraction to each other that they never let get past a professional level. Even though that maybe Nick Reyes liked her, or maybe she liked Nick Reyes, but they were such great comrades and they fought for the same goal, that there was things bigger, and they just maybe never let any of that materialize. And I felt that in the story. You know, a lot of you guys would say, well, really, they had a platonic relationship. They were like best friends, like brother and sister. I honestly don't, and I honestly don't ever see that. I do see that they're best friends, but they had a great relationship and I really loved it. I mean, Salter, she's determined, she's courageous, she goes for what she wants, she's confident. She's confident, not arrogant, but confident. I mean, even in their last interaction with Nick Reyes, Nick is telling her that they can't escape and they're going to have to die here. But she says, no, I can take them out and I can get us out of here. You know, so she was confident in her skills. And I think she is just hands down one of the best and most badass female characters that the entire Call of Duty series has ever seen. Another character that I really enjoyed, we didn't get too much of her. I think we only got a mission and we played with her in one mission, but it was Rosu, Camille Rosu Denis. She was part of the French resistance and she was a resistance leader, and she appeared in Call of Duty World War II 2017. She gives this really cool speech of why she's fighting, why she's doing what she's doing. We end up finding a Nazi general that had hurt her, killed her family, and she was able to get revenge on him and liberate France. And although her role was smaller, she was a really cool character. And again, kind of like Nora Slater, she went out and she got what she wanted. She went out and she did things that nobody else would do. And you know what impressed me the most is that if you do some digging young, and you guys can correct me down in the comments below, but I'm almost certain that she was somewhere between 18 years old and 24 years old. She was extremely young, and she was out there fighting for the French. She was fighting against the Nazis. She was killing, and she was doing it to free France, to liberate France. She was sacrificing herself for the greater good at a time where these things needed to happen. No matter the age, no matter who you were, male, female, whatever, you had to do these things if you wanted to win, if you wanted to be free. And Camille Rosu did that, and I loved it. I loved it. And she was also very pretty. she was beautiful. And I'm a guy, so what the hell do you want me to do? I absolutely loved her character, loved her voice work. She's a great, great character. And now we get to look at Fara Kareem. Now, Fara Kareem has been with us longer than any of these other characters that I've mentioned, because Fara Kareem appeared in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3. She's from Urzikstan. She's part and the leader of the Urzikstan Liberation Force. She's a resistance fighter, and she's this really important, integral figure of Modern Warfare 2019. She played such a key role in her relationship with ex-Delta Force operator, CIA operator, Alex Keller. They had a great relationship. They expanded on it. The game Modern Warfare 2019 painted Fara Kareem in such a light, in such a beautiful way, that you could relate to her. You could see her story from when she was a child all the way till she was an adult, fighting and being this leader, you know, and you saw the burden that she carried, and you saw the betrayal of her brother and all these things, and what really shaped her and what carried her. She, hands down, in 2019 was one of the best characters in Call of Duty. And you would argue that she was the main character of Modern Warfare 2019, not Captain Price, not Alex Keller, not Gas, not anybody else. It was Fara Kareem, because the story was central to her character, and everything that kind of occurred around her and because of her, and the main villain caused so much pain to her. And so she was incredible, honestly. And if she would have ended in Modern Warfare 2019, then you guys and a lot of people would be talking about her in such a better way, potentially, because Fara Kareem is a great character. But her appearance in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 kind of drag her down a bit, because in Modern Warfare 2, although it wasn't needed for her to appear, her appearance was very brief, small, and it was a callback to Modern Warfare 2019. It was actually kind of cool. But then in Modern Warfare 3, she comes back again, and Urzikstan a big plot point, and all these kind of things play against her. You know what I'm saying? They play against her. But in terms of the character herself, like I mentioned already, she's incredible. And she's also one of the most badass characters that Call of Duty has to offer, especially in the female category. But she has overstayed her welcome, in my opinion. And now we get to look at Helen Park, who is British. She's part of MI6. She was part of the CIA task force that Adler created back in the early 80s. And she's an old friend of Russell Adler. So she has a lot of experience in combat. She has a lot of experience in espionage. She has a lot of experience in covert missions. She is extremely talented. She's extremely badass, and she's extremely smart. We get to see a bit of her in Call of Duty Cold War, and you kind of understand what she's really good at. She helps Adler basically brainwash Bell. So we also know that she's willing to go the extra mile, to do things that maybe others might deem wrong or might deem inappropriate for, quote unquote, the greater good. So there's a lot to like about Helen Park. Now, a lot of guys, a lot of people really liked her because of her looks, because she was very beautiful and she was a pretty character. Was she? Yes, I think that she was. But I think that where her skills really lie is in the way that she's perceived, in the way that she speaks, the empathy that she even shows Bell sometimes. You could see how she kind of talks to him, and after you've played the game once or twice and you know what the story is, you can kind of pick up on Helen Park's conversations with Bell and how she kind of talks to him in a way where, you know, she kind of feels a little sorry for him, or she wishes that it wasn't this way, but she knows that she has to do it for, again, the greater good. She's a great character. She's one of the most skilled characters as well in Call of Duty Cold War, and, you know, her appearance in Black Ops 6 wasn't as big or great as I would have wanted it to be, because, you know, she didn't do all that much, but we get to see a little bit more of her, and, you know, her character just continues to grow. So I also think that Helen Park is a pretty great character, and she's one of my favorites. I enjoyed her appearance in Cold War and in Black Ops 6. Now, another one from the rebooted Modern Warfare series is Kate Lazwell. She is with the CIA. She's a CIA station chief, and she's one of the main allies of Task Force 141 in the rebooted version of Call of Duty. She is a high-ranking ranking CIA official, and she's in command of a lot of things. She's helped Task Force 141 in trying to capture Hassan Ziani. She was there for Barkov. She was there to stop General Shepard. She was there in the pursuit and the hunt for Makarov. She has been there and done everything. Basically, the whole rebooted Modern Warfare series, she's been there. She's been helping. She's been very much a part of what's going on. She has a great and a long-standing relationship with Captain John Price, and you get to see that. You get to see their characters interact, and they have a good chemistry. They have a good rapport together. We play with Kate Lazwell for like one mission in Modern Warfare 3, and to be quite frank, that mission was completely ass. I did not like it, but, you know, we get to see her getting dirty a bunch of times. We get to see her. She's not just hidden away somewhere giving instructions. She comes down to the field and she helps, and that was evident in Modern Warfare 2 when she was captured by Al-Qatala. She was potentially facing death. They were probably going to execute her and send a message to the United States or to the CIA, but Task Force 141 were able to save her. And just by her putting herself in danger, you can see what she's made of. And then again, putting herself in danger where she infiltrated the military base to try to get into contact with her contact. That was also pretty cool. I think Kate Lazwell suffers, though, similarly to Fara Kareem, not as much, but similarly, because she has appeared in multiple games. Some would say that maybe she's overstayed her welcome. Some would say that maybe her character took a downturn after Modern Warfare 2019. Some would say that, you know, maybe something needs to happen to spice up her relationship with the team. She's been too much of friends with them, and, you know, she kind of helps them out all the time. And how can we create a conflict to make the story better? But Kate Lazwell by herself is a great character. And now we have Valeria Gara.
¡Puta madre, Alejandro!
El Sin Nombre, the Las Almas cartel leader. She's Mexican. She's awesome. She's beautiful. She's a baddie. She's everything that you guys just dream of, right? And that's very evident because of the love that she received. I'll use that word, love, that she received during the marketing, during the campaign for Modern Warfare 2, during her interviews. People just loved the character. People loved the actress behind the character, Maria Elisa Camargo. And you know, she isn't even Mexican, right? The actress isn't even Mexican, but she did such a good job with the slang, with the delivery, that I was mesmerized, and I did not realize that she was a Mexican. Usually, I can tell if an actor isn't or not. Like Alejandro Vargas, I honestly could just tell that he wasn't. But Rudy, you know, he is. And Valeria Garza, I could have sworn, if you would have told me guess, I would have guessed 1,000% that she was Mexican because of her delivery. She was so damn good in that role, so cocky, so arrogant, so savage. I loved her. I loved her in the role. And that's not even like her looks. Yeah, great, awesome, a bonus. But it's not even about her looks. It's just about her performance. She had me, like, if you guys would have seen my reaction when I first played this game, like, you know, if we would have recorded and everything, I was laughing my ass off in so many ways because she was always insulting Task Force 141. She was insulting Price. She was insulting, you know, Alejandro Vargas. She was insulting Soap. She was always just throwing jabs at everybody. And she was just so charismatic, and I loved that about her character. But she's also ruthless. She's a villain. She's a killer. She will kill you and cut you up before you even blink. Like, she is powerful. She's a drug trafficking drug lord. She's psycho, dog. Like, she is psycho. And some of you bastards out there are gonna like that, but she is really crazy. She's ex-Mexican Special Forces. I mean, she's extremely dangerous and violent and talented, and a character that I think has so much more potential, and we could use her so much more maybe in a spin-off type of game, in a game that concentrates maybe on the Mexican war, on the cartel, or the Mexican war on drugs, or something like that in another Call of Duty or a DLC or something. I wish Call of Duty did that type of stuff because you could expand on smaller stories with so many great characters. I think Valeria Garza, honestly, she would benefit, and all of us would benefit from seeing her more. So I don't know. She may make a return in Modern Warfare 4, and we can talk more about her, but she is an incredible character and easily one of my favorites. And then lastly, we have Polina Petrova, Lady Nightingale herself. She appeared in Call of Duty Vanguard. She was part of the Red Army. She was a lieutenant. She was a sniper, Soviet war hero, special force operator. And she was voiced by Laura Bailey, who voiced Abby in The Last of Us Part 2. That's something that some of you guys might not have known. I didn't know that, but the more she kept talking, and in reality, the way that she looked, I was like, she looks kind of familiar. And then I looked it up, and it was like, oh, it's Laura Laura Bailey. She was modeled after the character. So it goes to show, like, I mean, for me, Abby, I'm not going to be negative on Abby, but it's just a character that I really don't care for. It's a character that I did not like. It's a character that I was so pissed off when things happened in The Last of Us Part 2. And I would never say, oh, Laura Bailey, it's Laura Bailey's fault. No, it's just the character, you know, like the character made me feel really sad and angry, but not enough to be fucking crazy. So I never had anything against Laura Bailey, but a voice actor or an actor can make you feel this hatred, this anger towards one character, and then make you love another. And that's what Laura Bailey did. She made me hate Abby, and then she made me love Polina Petrova in the campaign. At first, I thought that, oh, she's gonna be like this wannabe badass, you know, how they kind of force things sometimes. But no, it worked well. It worked well. She was great. She was awesome. Her story with her father was very sad. The story with her brother was very sad. The way her, not village, but the way she was attacked, her town was attacked. It was violent. It was brutal. It was scary, you know, seeing her have to stand up and grow up like in the snap of a finger because of this tragedy, because of this war that happened. And then not only was she able to get revenge for her father, but she was able to grow and be better, and she killed so many of these Nazis. And she was reportedly based on a real life Soviet sniper. So it's just so much about the character Polina Petrova that I really like. Where there's some moments that were a little bit crazy, like when she finally gets her full-on revenge, and then there's this shot of her and it kind of looks like Batman, and her cape is flying in the wind, and you know, it's like Lady Nightingale. It's like almost this mythical character, this superhero or something. And to some of you it might be cringy, but honestly it worked, and I really liked her character as well. All right, so we created a tier list, so we're gonna go ahead and rank them from best to worst. All right, we already talked about them, so we're just gonna go ahead and rank, and then we'll talk a little bit more at the end. For number 1, I'm gonna have to go Nora Salter. Absolutely loved her character, and she was very close with Lana. So for number 2, we have Lana. I think she's also a fantastic character. For number 3, we have Valeria Gara. Funny ass, love Valeria, so she goes in number 3. For number 4, it has to be between these right here. I'm gonna go Polina Petrova. I liked her character arc. I like how violent she was, so she was great. We gotta put her there. And then for number 5, we gotta go Helen Park's bad self. We love Helen Park around here, so she goes right there at number 5. For number 6, it's an easy choice. I gotta go Rosu. I think if we would have gotten more missions with Rosu and maybe her story expanded a bit more, she could have been a little higher, but for now that's where she is. For my final 2, we have the Modern Warfare 19 ladies, and we gotta go Fara Kareem there. Fara Kareem is an incredible character, but if she only appeared in 19 and then the little cameo in Modern Warfare 2, then she potentially could have gone really high. But because of that, we gotta put her down here, just because I think that her being in so many games kind of ruined it a little bit. And then we got Kate Lazwell at number 8. She's awesome as well. We love Kate Lazwell. This is my list of characters that I love, the best female characters in Call of Duty. This is my list, and so don't mistaken just because it's S, A, B, C, D. I don't even really know what that shit means, but it doesn't mean that this is the absolute best character and these are the worst. No, it means that these are my favorite characters, and this is a list that I made really quickly, and just to show you in what order I would rank them from best to least best. But they're all the best in my opinion. But that's basically all we got. Now I want to know who your favorite female character in all of Call of Duty is.